We'll see what's going on. But, oh, now I see the picture. Okay, we are live. Yay! All right, today we are making Easter dinner. And we're going to do this as rapidly as we can because we want to get this chicken in the oven. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to grab 2 sets of shears. These are my handy dandy kitchen shears that we're going to use on the meat. And this is to open the veggies. Okay, so we're going to roast some carrots with this chicken. But we want to make sure that that they actually roast. And sometimes carrots can be a little, what's the word I want? Difficult. Yeah, let's say difficult. And these are really fat baby carrots. Look at them. Go on. Okay, I owe those of you who actually show up every week, I owe you an explanation. So here's the explanation. I am doing this later today. I'm going to see how it goes. I might actually switch to this because it's closer to our dinner time, which would be lovely. And the situation is that on Saturday night, one of our dogs went out to go to the restroom for the last time. It was dark out, so we didn't see what was going on. And she came back in and she was limping. We looked for bite marks. There was no blood. There was no thorn, nothing like that. So didn't warrant a trip to the emergency vet because I don't know about where you are, but emergency vets around here are really expensive. So we decided that we would see how it went. We gave her some medication to help her sleep, prescribed for her. And then when she got up on Sunday, she was still limping around. So we made an appointment this morning with the vet, and I knew there was no way I could be ready to do an entire chicken dinner in an hour when I was going to lose an hour of prep time. So we were with her at the vet. She is currently sedated. Nothing is broken. They can't really see what it is, but the good thing is we know it's nothing broken. There's no tumor. There's nothing like to be afraid of. Let's put it that way. So that was a good thing. So that's why we're later today. And the other thing is the bill for the vet today was half what it would have been if we'd gone to the emergency vet. And I don't know what they would have wanted to do. In addition, we took one of our dogs not long ago. He had something got him in the ear. We don't know if he was fighting with our other dog, if he tangled with some kind of critter out there, because they do come through our yard on occasion. And yes, it's fenced in, but critters get in. They just do. We have hawks. We don't know what happened to him. Now, he was bloody, and so we took him to the vet. But once they cleaned him up, it just really didn't look that bad, to be honest. This is just olive oil, and I'm going to add some onion and garlic. So I'm pretty generous with that kind of seasoning. And also, when we're going to spatchcock this chicken, and when we do that, we're going to lay it on the carrots. And when we do that, that will let some of the lovely juices of our carrot or of our chicken get into the carrots. And the last time we did that was amazing. So I need a spoon. Happen to have one right here. Okay, so we're going to get those all seasoned up and get those on a sheet pan and get them in the oven to get started so that hopefully they'll be done in an hour. All right, I'm going to pop these into the garbage real quick. And if you're hanging out, I think that's the chat. Yep, that's the chat right there. So if you're hanging out and you want to say hi, I'd love to hear from you. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to prep our pan. I am all about easy cleanup whenever I can get it. So when I prep my pans, I put aluminum foil on them. I do not like cooking on aluminum. It bothers me. I don't know if you can believe what they say or not. So I'm just being safe rather than sorry. It doesn't cover all the way. But I've learned a trick because sometimes this stuff pops up. So hello. Is it Yawa Mirza? What a cool name. So anyway, if you take your parchment paper, if you're using it, and you crumple it up, it will actually stay in place better. First time I saw that, I thought, that's insane. But once I did it, I was like, this is brilliant. We are making Easter dinner today, and we're going to start with, I'm going to get these, I've got some carrots that I've seasoned up. I'm going to get those on the pan, and I'm going to get those in the oven and get them cooking. And once we do that, we're going to spatchcock a chicken. So it's not something I do very often, so I'm not extremely confident in it, but you know what? We're going to go for it. So there we go. I did that. So it's ready for we can put the chicken in the middle and the legs will come out and the juice will get all over. So I'm going to put those in the oven real quick. I'll keep talking so you can hear me. Those are in. Oven is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I can't read that. I'm sorry, I can't read your name. How long am I going to be live? About an hour. We're hoping to get this done in an hour. And if we get it done in an hour, then that's... Oops, didn't want to do that. Shit. All right. Let me grab a paper towel. Get that. I'll change that before I make anything else. Change that out. I cooked something this morning and I left the foil on it so that when I work on this chicken, I don't have to worry about it. So hello to everybody who's coming in, and I can't read all of your names, and I'm so sorry about that. My IT guy had to go do something real quick. He'll be back and he'll help me with that. Hopefully put that where I can read the fonts because I'm having a hard time with it. And here he comes. Woohoo! I have the best IT man. I gave birth to my IT guy. So what's that tell you? So he's going to try to put that a little closer for me so I can read all your names. Okay, if you've never spatchcocked a chicken before, what you do is you cut out the backbone. And that is no easy feat. And these shears are not as sharp as they used to be, and they need a good sharpening. But anyway, they're still working, which is great. So once you get that backbone out, and that just goes in the garbage. Unless you're going to make soup. If you're going to make soup, you can take the neck that's inside the bird. You can take all of your giblets or whatever you want to call them, and they make a great stock. You'll need to sieve it out. So I'm going to stick that right there. Okay, make sure your cavity is clear of all the offal that may have been in there, and easy enough to do. Again, into the garbage for me for that. And thanks. I appreciate that. All right. And then this is the interesting part. You flip it over and then you press down. Woo! And you don't do that. That'll make it enjoyable. I'm a lunatic. What can I say? All right. So we're going to push down on this. Maybe I didn't get enough of it. So, all right, there we go. Open that baby up a little more. And then all right. There we go. Everything's starting to split apart like it's supposed to. Okay. And then I have pre-mixed. That'll work. Okay. And this is about out. We're gonna run that out, but I'm gonna take this glove off. I wear gloves for a couple of reasons. Number one, with chicken, I'm just gonna wear gloves anyway. But number two, I am not a fan of touching raw meat. I say this almost every live, just to kind of let people know. But these are biodegradable, and that's what I love about them. And I think I have a link for that in the description. If not, I'll make sure that I get it in there. And then I have pre-mixed some seasoning. I have garlic powder. I have granulated onion. I call it onion powder, but it's actually granulated. Black pepper, smoked paprika, and cumin. I cook gluten-free. I make sure as much as possible that everything I cook, is gluten-free. It may not be certified. And I say that because I am someone who can handle a little bit of cross-contamination because I'm gluten sensitive, but I'm not celiac. So a lot of what I use is not celiac certified, and I just want people to know that they're not getting the whole shebang. So I have aliens. Alienate. So thanks for being here, you guys. I could add some lemon juice. I think it would be, if that's one of your flavors. That's not a huge favorite in my household, so we don't always add stuff like that. But yes, if you're somebody who likes lemon, now one of my children loves lemon. That would be right up his alley. And as a matter of fact, he lives in California. And I'm going to put a second glove back on because I need to. This will just be so much easier with two hands. He is in California, and when they moved into their second home, there was a Meyer lemon tree in their yard. So they have free lemons, and they have Meyer lemons, which are amazing. So he makes his own limoncello and all those good things. So put that back up here. So we're going to season that on the inside. That's the thing about when I cook, is that I tell people all the time, you really, just make it your own, because you'll be so much happier if you do. Even like recipes that I get off of recipes and stuff, I've cooked for a long time, so I have a lot of my own. And if I look at a recipe, I can tell whether my family's going to enjoy it or not, or how I might be able to adapt it so that we actually do enjoy it. All right, so there we go. I'm not going to use quite all the seasoning, but all right, I am going to, Mr. IT man, are you close? He prefers that to me calling him by his name. So, all right, do we have, no, they're put away, aren't they? All right, I'm going to have to take one of these off, another one of these off. Daggone it. I try to prepare for everything, and I never get quite fully prepared. We're working on our, what we call SOPs, our standard operating procedures for the things that we do, because in addition to these lives, we also do restaurant reviews, and I do recipes as well. Can you pull that out of there? I need to put the chicken on there. So he's going to pull that out of the oven, and I'm going to have you set this sideways. Okay, he's going to set the one we just put in there. He's going to set that sideways on here. And then I'm going to arrange the chicken on there. Get it pressed down as much as I can. All right, there we go. There we go. And hopefully in about 40 minutes, go ahead and pop that back in. Hopefully, you know what? Let me give that a little squirt of olive oil on top just to seal in that. So I just drizzled some olive oil over that. All right, so that's that done. These are going to go into the sink. This is going to get all folded up and put into the garbage. The only reason I wouldn't put tomatoes is because it's not tomato season here. I would love them. Actually, I could work the tomatoes in the summertime, especially. We're literally just setting up our gardens right now. So that is a possibility for the future. But this one's just kind of a early spring kind of thing. I don't know if y'all can see me. I don't think so, but I'm washing my hands because chicken. So getting all that chicken juice off. All right. Now I feel like I can slow down a little bit because the stuff that takes the longest is now in the oven. So, oh, my name. My name is Karen. Unfortunate, I know, especially if you live in the United States. Try not to earn that name if you know what if you know, you know. And most Karens I know try not to. I am going to get out a different cutting board since I got some chicken juice on that one. And then, oh goodness me. I had planned to use that one the whole time, but not going to happen. So, all right. And I just used this for the carrots. So now I'm going to get my asparagus ready. Yes, there are a lot of people who love rosemary. That's another one I have to use very sparingly with my family. But it's something I want to use more of because the more I read about rosemary, okay, I'm going to tell you something. This is something I've started doing. I know a lot of people will tell you can just they'll say the asparagus will tell you where it wants to break. I understand that. And I know I'm going to lose some of the green on this, but just to make it easy, I cut the end of the bag with the tops. Then I trim them so that I can just lift the bag up and drop those in. Now, if you wanted to make a vegetable stock or something like that, that would be great. But I do this for to make it easy, all those good things. Excuse me. So I'm going to grab this other thing right here. Just coming on. Sharita, nice to have you. Watching from Detroit. Woohoo! You're in the same time zone as me. So you're one of my northern neighbors. I'm in Southwest Ohio. So that's true. I did not decide my name. As a matter of fact, fun fact, my name was supposed to be Michelle. And that was, my parents hadn't even picked a boy's name for me for some reason. I mean, that was back in the day when you didn't know what you were having. And my name was supposed to be Michelle. And then the day I was born, my father said he didn't want the name Michelle. So, now this one will make you laugh. I was named Karen because it was an unusual name. There weren't many of them. And now we're everywhere. So there you go. Isn't that lovely? All right. So I'm going to spread these out on the baking sheet. Oh, got one that's not pretty. We're going to pitch that in the garbage. But again, I'm a big fan of olive oil. My husband is a type 1 diabetic, so I minimize the use of butter when I can. And olive oil works very well for this. Just a simple roasted asparagus, they're so good. I ran out my olive oil, but that's the last thing I need it for anyway. So, all right. And then I just season it up with a little garlic powder. And yes, I mean, whatever spices you like, put those on. Um, but I don't cook with a lot of salt, and I do not cook with butter, unless butter is something I do. Actually, I'm going to use butter in a few minutes here. So there you go. Um, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, the weather where I am, beautiful and sunny, but chilly. Our high today is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Not sure exactly what that is for you guys. If you're in a different, if so, yeah, not sure. So, oh, so then I just toss these up so it gets all over everybody. So everybody gets to share. All right. I'm going to wait just a few minutes to pop that in the oven because I want to give the chicken a little more time to itself. And actually, I could probably put that in my air fryer, to be honest, and just roast it in there. But today, that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do next is talk about dessert, because, you know, who doesn't love a dessert, right? All my best friends like dessert. And in my family, one of a favorite dessert is cheesecake. So, you know what? I am going to go ahead and just get this out of my way, and we're going to put that in the oven. Oof. All right, so that's in the oven doing its thing, and I'll keep an eye on it. We should check in about 15 minutes. So the next thing we're going to do, and again, this is all simple. You can do everything homemade if that trips your trigger, if that's what you like to do. When I was younger, everything was from scratch. Everything. The older I get, the more I like convenience. So we're going to pop some cupcake liners into a muffin pan, but this is a no-cook dessert. So I love it. Make it easy for everyone in the family. 66 degrees. That's like perfection to me. From 65 to 75 is like my favorite temperature. So thanks. I love my kitchen. I actually do. It's a little smaller than I would like, but I love the color. We put this thing up because I have very little storage space. But how old am I? I am very close to 63. So, and I don't find that offensive. I've earned every year I have. So that will never offend me to ask me how old I am. One of my favorite stories about that is when I turned 50, two of my nephews, great nephews actually, because I'm born to the baby of 9. So we have our kids cross over with the next generation. So the oldest great grandchild is a few months older than my son, and then the next two great grands are between my kids. So my kids always kind of grew up with the next generation, if you will. And I used to have to remind people all the time because my mother-in-law went from being grandma to being great-gram. And they'd call my mother-in-law great-gram, and I'd say, "You mean grandma?" And they're like, "No, I mean great-gram." And I was like, "No, she's my children's grandma." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." So they forget that all the time. And these are my sister-in-laws, and that was their mom. So, but yeah, they would forget that their baby brother's kids were grandkids, not great-grands. So anyway, well, thank you. I think I've got a dose of the Midwest nice is what people call it. That, you know, I love people. So I love to know where you guys are from. I love to know, in this, okay, like today, I would love to know from each of you what's your favorite thing to eat for Easter dinner? Because we've changed over the years. I used to host Easter for my husband's family, and there were 65 of us. We've grown so much. Now everybody kind of hosts their own family, and some of them have a lot bigger families than I do. So we're the youngest, and we have the youngest grandkids and all that stuff. So and then all right, so we're going to talk about this, um, but anyway, we're talking cheesecake, right? So here's what I've done. Again, I eat gluten-free. My family doesn't always eat gluten-free. They do when I'm cooking. um, but, they have their gluten-filled stuff, and that's okay. So what we're making right now is a base for no-bake cheesecakes. And the bases, I'm using 3 different ones so that we can all try each one when we feel like it. And I've got gluten-free Oreos in this one, which I've just crushed up in a bag, and then I added just about a tablespoon or 2 of butter to make it even softer, and it'll stick together better once I tamp it down in here. Now, my husband probably won't eat this. That's a little bit, he's not huge on chocolate, so, and he's definitely not big on dark chocolate, which, I used to think, my goodness, what's wrong with you? But then I thought, that just means more for me. So got to look at the bright side, right? And then the first stuff I put in was gluten-free graham cracker crumbs, which you can buy, and a little bit of butter. And then these are my favorite. This is my favorite cookie, my favorite pre-made gluten-free cookie. And they're the golden Oreos, and they are so good, and they make such a great base for things like this. And I'm going to open a window because it's hot in here. Ooh. Oh, nice. So, like I said, it's the high today is supposed to be around 50. Tell me, what's the weather like where you are? One of you is in Detroit. Oh, you're from Germany. Cool. Oh, I love that. So tell me what the weather is like around you, and where are you from in Germany? That would be lovely to know. So I've only been out of the country a few times. I've been to Canada. I've been to Mexico. And I have been to England. I got to go there when I was in college. I would have loved to have traveled more, and I still plan to travel more, but my husband's medical costs, my son's medical costs, if you are in the United States, you know how that can go. I have a husband who's a type 1 diabetic. I have a son who has a pituitary disorder. That doesn't leave a lot left over. Okay, so you can do it this way, and as you can see, I got 3 of each. There are still 3 of us in the house. I have 2 older sons who live outside the house that are married and on their own. But you could do it like this if you wanted to make like a cupcake type of thing. You could also, if you've got some small jars with or without lids, and it's such a pretty presentation when you do this. You just put a little bit in the bottom, and you can be as fancy or as careful as you want. If you want to put a little up the side, go do that. If you don't worry about it. But you do that. Make it as thin or as thick as you want. And then I'm going to show you what I bought. Okay, so if you're in the US, you can buy this no-bake cheesecake filling. I don't know if you've ever had it. It's really good. Is it as good as if you made it homemade? Depends on how good you cook, to be honest. And I pre-filled this because it was a mess last week when I tried to do it on camera. So we decided, and then I'm telling you, get a piping bag. If you like to fill stuff like this, it works so well for so many things. Get yourself a piping set. And I could have actually used the bigger one. But I'm going to show you if you put this in here. It's so pretty. And I'm in a hurry, so I'm not doing the best job I could be. But you can make it like this and just leave the cheesecake, or you could add some whipped topping on it on top. But it just has a nicer presentation, I think. So I'm going to probably run out of this filling before I get all 9 of these filled. But this is something you could make ahead of time and pop in your fridge. You could make mini cupcakes if you just want them to be bite-sized. These will be dessert for us, so I don't mind if they're a little bit bigger. And we might even share some. So, but it's just an easier way. I also have a reusable piping bag that I use a lot. So most of the time when I do this and I'm not on camera, I use that. And it works out really well. And I could refill that, but the other thing, if you don't have time or you don't have the inclination, you can just go ahead and spoon it in there. You can spoon it in. Again, this is why I use the piping bag, because I'm messy otherwise. So, and I'm not incredibly patient with things like this, so it's easier for me. I'd put the big dollop in there rather than just like I just did now, and trying to be patient and trying to maneuver it. It's so much easier just to use the piping bag for me. If you watched last week, I did that with deviled eggs. My dad used to make deviled eggs. He boiled them on the stove. Then he would fill them like this with a spoon. And it used to take him about 3 hours to do 2 dozen eggs. I can do 2 dozen eggs with an Instant Pot and my piping bag in less than an hour. So I love that idea. All right, so see, they're not quite as pretty. You can make them decent. And again, it's just up to you. It's the way you want to do it. So I'm going to tell you, one of the advantages of being the person who cooks, you get to taste now and then. So anyway, now, again, just a little bit of butter. A lot of people add more brown sugar or sugar to this. I don't feel the need to do that. And then you just pop these in the fridge for whenever you're ready for them. And Mr. IT Man, are you available? Here he comes. Okay, can you pop that in the fridge for me, please? Thank you, sir. And can you get out the Parmesan cheese for me? Preferably the shredded. It's in the drawer. I do forget to get things out now and then. Now, okay, you don't celebrate because you're Muslim. All right, but you kind of have a celebration every day. When is Ramadan over? Because we're still in the midst of Ramadan, right? If I remember correctly. So you don't know what an Easter dinner is. Okay. Well, Easter dinner is typically sometimes a lot of people eat things that you wouldn't eat. They eat pork. Now, they do eat lamb. And a lot of people like a leg of lamb with mint jelly. I'm not a huge fan of lamb, and I can't really eat pork anymore. It's too salty for me. That's what I thought, around 20 degrees. As far as so hi Henriette. Is it Henrietta? Okay, so it just finished. All right, because I knew we were all having, it's Lent in the Christian calendar. So it is a time of not near the dedicated fasting that Muslims have, but it is a time of fasting. And actually my son and his wife, they do fast. They fast from 9 a.m. until whatever time they eat dinner. They don't, it's not specifically sun up and sundown, but they do only eat, they don't eat during the day. Hi, Connie. So anyway, I think I love learning about other people's traditions. And we were lucky enough that my kids have gone to school with some of their friends are Muslim, some of their friends are Jewish, some of their friends are Hindu. One of their friends was in he was in a Hindu dance troupe, and that was really cool. They really enjoyed that. I'm going to get a bigger bowl than that. So that was awesome. So I'm going to make sort of a gremolata, I guess you could call it, for my asparagus. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. And these, so, hey, Kimberly. Just Kimberly is a very good friend of mine. We have known each other forever. I think we figured out the other day it was over 20 years. So Kimberly used to be my neighbor, and we have stayed friends all these years. So anyway, am I going to put these in a bag, or am I just going to crush them up? I think I'm just going to crush them up. So actually, I don't want to make a big mess. That's my big thing. But I'll give it a shot. All right. So there's a bunch of ways you could do this. You could throw this into a food processor if you wanted to do that. You could put it in a bag, crush them up. Since I forgot to get a bag out, I'm just going to do this. These are sour cream and onion flavored rings that I got at Trader Joe's. I tried these not long ago, and they were so good. They're lentil and rice. So for those of us who are gluten-free, it's wonderful. So this is, I just thought that would sound really good to sprinkle on the asparagus with mix it with the Parmesan cheese and put like a crunchy, cheesy topping on my asparagus. So I'm excited about that. So this is one way of doing it. It's the probably most laborious way of doing it. But again, depends on what you want to do. So you could do this in a bag, in a food processor, or just crunch them up with your hands if you really wanted to. But this is working. So, sour cream and onion is one of those flavors we all like in this family. So, okay. So there we go. It's kind of all done. Clean that off. That goes in the sink. And then you're gonna pray for me. Okay, I'm being silly, but again, I've told you, I can tend to be messy. So it's funny, I felt like I prepared more for this, and in some ways it was really good. But then I looked and I was like, wait a minute, I need to fill some time while I'm waiting for the food to be done. So, and I can smell things cooking away, so that's awesome. But I'm sorry if that makes a terrible noise. I know sometimes it sounds worse over the microphone than it sounds to me. So that's getting the majority of it in there. So that's good. All right. So there we go. And then we're just going to stir that up. So where did I learn to cook like that? Well, couple of different ways. I've been cooking since I was 12, And that started because I detested doing lawn chores, like yard chores. I didn't like cutting the grass. I didn't like pulling weeds. I didn't like doing the edging. But I would offer with my mother because she liked doing yard work. So I would offer if she would want to work in the yard that I would make dinner and or I would do the laundry. And I'm not a big fan of laundry, but I would rather do laundry. As a kid, I would rather do laundry than work in the yard. So I started learning how to cook so that I didn't have to work in the yard. So, and then my mother she only baked at Christmas time for us, and she only baked one kind of cookie. And occasionally she'd make a loaf of bread, like maybe once every 3 or 4 years. And so my brother and I learned to bake. He's an awesome baker as well. And his husband cooks more than he does, mostly because his husband worked at home and now he's retired. But they both like to bake, and they're very good cooks. They're very good bakers, and so we have shared a lot of recipes. And this is kind of my happy place. The kitchen is my happy place. Kimberly can tell you, when you hang out at my house, we hang out in the kitchen. I always say, if I love you, I'll cook for you. And so if I've cooked for you and shared what I've cooked with you, that means I love you. And so, I never really had a desire to be a chef because I didn't want to have to cook, if that makes sense. So, but I love to cook for people. Daily cooking, as any mom will tell you, gets a little tedious because you just run out of inspiration. And that's happened to me on many, many occasions. And so I now make my family choose at least one dinner per evening. And now that I'm cooking live at least once a week, that helps me with that as well. So if there's something you would like to see me cook, that's awesome. Thank you, Kimberly. Kimberly is married to, her husband is from Ghana, and she has spent a lot of time over there. And she was feeling homesick for that place while she was here and for her husband. And so I looked up how to make Ghanaian jollof rice. And so apparently I did a good job. You just never know when you're making something from another country and using their spices and things like that. You never get it right. But so yes, it does. It gives me motivation to think about other things to cook. And I am going to go ahead and grab out, see if the asparagus is done real quick. I'm going to grab that out and bring it over here. That's why I put those down. And we're going to see what we've got. Okay, so what you can see here is that it's very bright green. Now, it is still quite crisp is the word I would use. I love it like that. My family would like a little more cooked. To kind of split the difference, as they call it, I'm going to put some, I'm going to go ahead and put these all on one side here. I'm going to cover it up, and then I'm going to put a piece of foil over it, and that'll cook it a little more. So it's a little less crispy than I like it, but it's a little more crispy than I like it. It'll work. So anyway, let me grab out. Oh, no, it's right there. I thought I'd put it away, but I hadn't. So there we go. I just need enough to cover it, so not a lot. But I'll let that sit and steam. And we will put that back on the stove so it stays warm. It'll cook a little more, but not a ton more. And then it'll be ready for us when it's time for dinner, which we eat early because we go to bed early. So we usually eat between 5 and 6. So this will be ready when we get ready for that. Okay, so all right, you asked me about Easter. I'm going to ask you about Ramadan. I know that that iftar, I believe is what it's called when you break your fast, and that you eat some of the most amazing foods. And I just realized I made this topping, forgot to put it on. So we're going to go grab the asparagus. So, iftar, what is your favorite thing to break your fast during Ramadan? What is the favorite thing to eat first? I know a lot of people like dates. So I would love to know what you like. So can't believe I forgot that. I'm a goofball. Anyway, that's all right. We all make mistakes. And that's not even a mistake necessarily. That was just an oops. So anybody else, when I said oops, hear Britney Spears in their head? I did. Go ahead, Kimberly, laugh at me. Go ahead, laugh at me. Oh, we love our music, Kimberly and I. We don't always listen to the same kind of music, but we both love music. And Kimberly is an incredible vocalist. She has a beautiful voice. All right, I'm going to put about half that on there so that that cheese can melt in, but then I want some cheese and crunchiness that doesn't kind of melt into the whole thing. So, anywho. All right, there we go. So I'm going to put that back on the stove. And I'm about 5 minutes, maybe even less. I'm going to check out I'm going to check out how the chicken's doing. So, as a matter of fact, Kimberly used to manage one of our local singers who actually had a fair amount of success. I don't know. I assume Robert is still singing. I don't see him as much as I did when he was. So. So that's why everyone eats dates. Okay. Got it. I did not know that. So I've learned something today thanks to you. I always wondered why everybody eats dates. So now I know. Interesting. That is an interesting thing to do. Oh, he's managing now. Robert is. So he's a good guy. He always seemed like a good guy. Okay. Dates, water, and olives. All right. I would not be mad about any of those things. I grew up thinking I didn't like olives, and actually I didn't like olives because we only had one kind of olive, and they were supposed to be stuffed with pimentos. I don't think they were back in the day. I still don't like those kind of olives, except in one thing that I make. But sometimes people will tell you in the United States that they're using pimentos when they're actually using red peppers. And I'm not a fan of bell peppers, or sweet peppers as they call them. Okay, good to know. But I do love like all the other kinds of olives that I've had. The black olives, the Kalamata olives. My favorite are called Castelvetrano. That they're a very buttery. I don't know if they're Italian or Sicilian, but boy, are they good. But I would love to. I would love to just go around and try dates and olives in different countries. So, something wrong? Oh, you're just checking to make sure I'm not. I didn't have a full charge when we started, so my IT guy is checking. Making naan. That would be rough. Okay, I shouldn't say that would be rough. That would require, yeah, I'll need to research that because um, gluten-free naan would be something that I would have to give it a shot. So, but yeah, that was, um, there are so many different types of bready kind of things like that. So I've tried a few and failed miserably at some of them. So anywho, oh, okay. He's hooking me up to make sure I stay charged. So um, I am gonna pull that chicken out and we're gonna give it a test and see where we are with that. See if we're ready. Um, so give me just 1 second. I'm gonna pull that chicken out of the oven and see how we're doing. Oh gosh. Tried to pull it out one-handed. That was not a smart thing to do, especially with my non-dominant hand. That was almost a disaster. I had to come back crying. All right, I'm going to go on the fattest part of the chicken breast and see where we are. It looks like we're not anywhere near where we need to be. Yep, that's not even close. How's the thigh? See, this is what's always really weird. Like, we're going to be closer on the thigh than we are on the chicken breast. We're very close on the chicken thigh. So I'm going to do something. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right. Sometimes if the breast is super thick, what I will do, so it will cook up and get to the middle. Yeah, it's still kind of, on the outside it's fine, but in there it's still very red. So I will split the breast so that that heat can get in there and cook it. Since we really didn't get this done from the bottom, so, and I'm going to make 2 little incisions here so the heat can get in that way. Hopefully that won't dry it out. Doesn't usually, but you just never know. Okay. Yeah, we're really close on the thigh, but not on the breast. So I'm gonna pop this back in the oven. Ooh, goodness me. All right. I also grabbed the carrot just to see how they were doing. And it's hot, so I'm not gonna touch it. Again, it gives, but it's rather crunchy, and I can tell that just by the way it gives. Yes, a lot of people do use a whole stick of butter. I do not use a whole stick of butter because, again, my husband's a type 1 diabetic, so we really watch what we eat, and butter has so much fat and cholesterol in it. So we're both watching our cholesterol right now. So butter, the olive oil is better for us with cholesterol, and so that's why we do the olive oil instead. So butter's delicious, don't get me wrong. And when we make our turkey at Thanksgiving, for American Thanksgiving, we use ridiculous amounts of butter between the turkey, the dressing, and the gravy. Lots and lots of butter. But so yes, on a normal, it's not Easter yet. Easter's actually in almost 2 weeks from now. So yep, just like if you have diabetes, you watch your sugar. Now he's a type 1, so it's a little different for him, where his body doesn't make its own insulin, where in type 2, if that's what she has, and I'm a borderline type 2, is very much you think about what you eat food-wise. And yes, you limit your sugar, and that's why when I say I make those, that's not something I would eat a lot of. We would probably share those, that kind of thing. So, okay. That's actually not bad. That's in pretty good shape. I need a few more minutes, but roasted carrots are so good. Why is it we don't do that more? I mean, I don't. I don't do it near as much as I quote should. They're so good, and it's a natural sweetness, you know, that you can get a vegetable that tastes that sweet. So anyway, um, yeah, that's what most people have is type 2. My husband is um, he was 15 years old when he was diagnosed, so a little late for type 1 diabetics to be diagnosed at that age, um, but yeah, he has been dealing with this, and he's seen a lot of changes. And right now, it's very exciting that they've done a trial, I think, in China, and they've done a trial here. They did a trial with 12 patients with this certain protocol, and 12 out of 12 are now off of insulin, which is just wonderful. I mean, there's a chance he may not have to take insulin on his own, and that they can make his own pancreas start to work again, which is just amazing. So goodness only knows when that's when that's actually going to be mainstream. But I've been following one of the people who's in the trial, and she's down to 1 to 2 units a day, and understand that my husband takes anywhere from 10 to 20 units in what they call bolus. So when he eats, so these people are making their own insulin again. And that's wild. It's a wild thing to think about, and so exciting. So anyway, that's a pretty good thing. That is some name. I don't think I could even lysergic acid diethylamide. That's that's some kind of name, and I'm sure if I looked it up, I would find it fascinating. So anyway, I'm out of making stuff, guys. I actually went above and beyond, and I will show you one thing I didn't make. I was gonna put some potatoes in an Instant Pot and fry those up in the Instant Pot, and I was afraid I was gonna run out of time, but we're right at our hour. I can almost bet that my chicken is not ready for you guys, that it's not ready. You have seen what it looks like. I can tell you that the carrots are amazing. I'm sure, you know what? I'm going to taste this little bit of gremolata right now, just to see how it tastes. I think it's going to be really, really good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be so good. I might put that on everything. That's delicious. But I've kind of run out of things to talk about, and what I'll do when I'm done with this, I'm not sure if we can add on to a live when we're done with it, but I will definitely. We can't. Okay, my IT man just came in and showed me that. So I think what I will do is maybe we'll make a short or a video out of this, and we'll show you what it looks like when it does come out and we carve it all up. We'll at least have some pictures of it for you. So yes, some fries. Actually, what I was going to do is I was going to chunk them up and just make them almost like a roasted potato, but not quite. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here because I said I would be here for an hour. I don't want to take up all your time. I want to be respectful of that. I will be back next Monday. I'm not really sure what I'm making yet. So if you want to get on my mailing list so that you get some advance notice about what I'll be doing and when I'll be doing it, you can go to the homepage, which is gluten-free from the 513.com. There should be a link in the description if you want to check that out. And I will see you guys next Monday, where we'll be making something new and wonderful, and I'll figure out what that is. So I will talk to you then. Oh, I can stay if you really want me to. I just want to let everybody else know that they can go if they need to. Excuse me. All right, drink of water time. So, you know what? If everybody wants to still watch, we'll watch. So I've got about 5 more minutes before I'll check the chicken again. You know what? If my IT guy will hang out with me for a few minutes, we'll start putting stuff away. Start putting stuff in my sink, so I have my dishes ready to go. Does anybody have any cooking questions? Or again, give me something that if you do cook, tell me something that you cook well, because I would love to find out. And if there's something you would like to learn how to make, same thing. Pop it in there. Maybe I'll do a future video with that in it. I know my friend Kimberly cooks a lot, but we could probably do something where we cook together. That would be fun. Of course, it would be a lot of silliness too, so y'all would have to get used to that. But burnt eggs, is that a dish? I've never even heard of that. That sounds really interesting. What is in burnt? You can cook burnt eggs. Well, good. That's that. Are you saying you burn the eggs? Is that what you're telling me? Or is it actually a dish called burnt eggs? I'm just curious. I think you're pulling my leg. Is there something called burnt eggs? Are you looking that up, IT man? So, now I'm curious. And my phone is what we're recording on, so I can't look it up. Look up burnt eggs recipe, see if there is one. That's interesting. Oh, I forgot to put something in with my chicken. I just realized I was going to put some red onion on the pan with it, and I forgot. Oh well, I'll cook it with something else. So, can cook cabbage like a boss. Okay, there's a million ways to make cabbage. How do you cook it? I'm just curious. I mean, one of my favorite things to make with cabbage, much to my IT guy's chagrin, is I love to make what we call hot slaw, and it's he's shaking his head at me, which has cabbage and bacon and apple cider vinegar and a little bit of sugar. It is one of my favorite ways to have cabbage. Yeah, cabbage in a crock pot is amazing. Yeah, you're right. With just about anything. I'm actually on, I think is it tomorrow that I'm making the unstuffed cabbage rolls? So, oh, yeah, Wednesday. I have unstuffed cabbage rolls on my, so there's another crock pot meal. So I'll be making that on Wednesday. Um, yeah, I could eat cabbage about every other night, and there would be a revolt by at least one person in this house if I did that. Um, Also, I okay, if you're burning your eggs, what I would tell you is turn your stove down. If they're cooking too fast, I'm betting. So use a little more oil or butter, and you know what? I feel like the chef from Ratatouille. Anyone can cook. You just have to learn how to do it. It's just a skill, like everything else. It's a skill I happen to like. Now, if you don't like it, that's different. Um, but I honestly believe that anybody can cook, and that's one of the things I want to do here in the near future. Is I'm going to actually do. Uh, I want to do a free course on how to do some of the basics, because once you learn the basics of certain things, of how to chop things, um, and honestly, cooking eggs is not an easy thing. I honestly believe that. For one thing, everybody's got their own opinion of how to cook an egg. So, um, I attempted ravioli once. Um, I've thought about doing it again, especially being gluten free. But so, well, thanks for stopping in. You're on a school bus, okay? That's cool. Where are you? What part of the world are you in? Is it Ali? So I would love to know what part of the world that you are in. Um, I haven't made ravioli. I've attempted it. It was okay. About maybe a quarter of them exploded. So, um, no kids yet. So you're the bus driver. Is that? Oh, I know who that is. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just realized, Andrew. I just realized it was you. So, oh, that's funny. Right before you said it. Okay. Um, yes, that actually is believable. I have made beef Wellington, and I do. I think cooking an egg is can be quite a challenge if it's something that you're just not done with. So, or that you're not practiced at. My father had a gift for cooking eggs of every kind, and he would get up and make us eggs on the weekends, and they were perfection. I like mine where the yolk is still runny, but the white is fully cooked. I don't like the whites not cooked. And he could just make them perfectly. And I have come close, but I cannot make them as well as he has made them. It's mind blowing. Um, Andrew, did you see that? So, I'm just going to call you lysergic acid just for fun. So you tell everybody to shut up and sit down. Now she actually has a good bust this year. Last year she probably had to say that a lot, but this year she's got a good. Oh, over easy. See, you can get that white not cooked enough for me when they're over easy. That scares me. So, um, I'm gonna pull out the chicken. We're gonna check it again. Oof. Oh. All right. Let's see how we're doing here. Okay. Ooh, sunny side up. No, thank you. All right. We'll check the thigh first, and then we'll check the chicken breast. Oh, yep. We've hit done for the thighs. Let's check the chicken breast. Come on, baby. Ah, shoot. Come on. All right. We're going to put you right there. Dang it. It's not done. I'm annoyed. Okay, that part is done. That's the part about doing a chicken like this. That one's definitely done. Okay, this chicken breast is done. This chicken breast is not. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to sit these guys aside. I am going to break this down because I don't want to overcook the dark meat. So will you close that and turn it off, please? So here's the deal. With stuff like this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tent this and let it sit. It has to sit for at least 10 minutes, but it is so pretty. And I'm so excited about this. I think it's going to be really, really good. But we are going to let it sit, and then I'm going to carve it up. And the stuff that's not cooked, I will cook it again. That's just what we do. So, what? Get the dessert out? Is that what you're thinking? We can do that. Let me put the foil over this so it continues to cook a little bit, but not dry out, because that's the thing we don't want. Is we don't. Bye, Andra. Sorry, I didn't see her go. How many 6, 7? Okay, I have a granddaughter who's 7 years old, and she loves to 6, 7 you. And it was awesome when she turned 7. She's not a big fan of cake, so I made Rice Krispie treats. Hang on, I'll be back. I'll tell you that story. So I used to do this for my kids when they were little. They weren't huge cake fans either, so I would make them a Rice Krispie treat, and I would shape it into whatever number, whatever age they were. So I was telling my granddaughter about it, and she's like, really? You used to do that? I said, yes. So for her birthday celebration, I did it for her, and I made this giant 7, and then I took just a little bit of it, and I made a small 6. So it was 6, 7. And when I showed it to her, I was like, Ellie, look, 6, 7. And she thought that was great. She thought that was really funny. And it appears that I have melted my tablecloth. Oh, well. C'est la vie. It's old. But anyway. So there you have it. It's all done. It's got to rest for a while. And we can try something later. But like I said, we'll try to maybe pull some footage from it and make a quick Easter or even just a spatchcock chicken video out of it. So, yes, you may absolutely call me auntie or auntie, however you say it. Probably auntie though. I have been people's sister. I've been their auntie. I have no sisters, so that's always been fun for me. I've been their second mom. I've been their nana, whatever. That's what my grandkids call me, is Nana. So my IT guy's throwing stuff around the kitchen. So I'm going to hop off here. I will be back next Monday. I'm going to do this again. I'll be back next Monday. I don't know what I'm going to make yet, but we'll start talking about it. Some lovely spring dishes. So if you have something you want me to cook, leave it in the comments, and I will do my best to try to do that in a future video. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon.